Hey, favored ones! Welcome back for another collective reading. I'm Kymmy, and this is my channel, Faevoured Readings. So I'm gonna go through some of the downloads that I've been getting throughout yesterday and this morning, and then I'll get into pulling cards. And first and foremost, this is a general reading, so if it doesn't resonate with you, then you are welcome to leave it behind for the next person, and you're welcome to click on other videos to find something that's more resonating with your journey at this time, as everyone's at different stages, and I can't cover all of them in a collective. And I'm not doing personals at this time. If anyone tries to solicit you below in the comments or in your DM saying, the guides have sent me here to save you and give you this reading, I feel called to, that's BS. Don't give them your hard-earned money. That's just the scammers of the tarot community, the divination community. So when I got off last night, I remembered where that vine was. It was a vine. So some of you may enjoy old vines, or you're going viral like the vine. As what I had was the dun 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 dun, was the kid plays the oven. When mom's away, the mom and dad will play. So I feel like a lot of you are embracing your inner child and allowing your own descendants to flourish. Or if you're parenting yourself, you're allowing yourself to be silly and to allow your inner child to shine through. And for those who are raising the next generation of descendants within your family line, you are learning to revive that silliness. Some of you may play the trombone, or you're a really amazing cook, because I got beforehand, it was like new tone. You're starting to have a new tone, which is the name of a oven fan. Some of you may be replacing your oven fan, or cleaning, giving it a good scrub out. Some of you are speaking in a new tone. You're learning your ranges, your vocal range. My hair is just drying amazing today. I love it. Good job. It's so beautiful. I'm amazing. I love myself. Thank you. Some of you are talking to yourself in a new tone. Like if you're having a wonky hair day, you're not going to let it get the best of you. Or if it's drying and half of it's dry and half of it's still wet. Some of you may be going out swimming more often with your kid, and that's one way you're aligning your chakras is by swimming and allowing flow, and to recognize what flow feels like. I also had Shaman, the song Shaman with Fairy Tale. Some of you may enjoy the anime Shaman King, or you may be looking into getting courses in order to become a shaman, looking up your ancestral line, that you may have Germanic or Slavic backgrounds where, or of course, indigenous backgrounds where shamanists and shamans are relevant. They're still relevant, where it's relevant and being taught without cultural appropriation. Of course, there's cultural appreciation, but make sure that you're not trying to get involved in closed practices. I know a lot of people don't enjoy certain practices. A lot of people aren't comfortable with covens. So remember to practice your craft and your intentional magic the way that you would love to, and the way that makes you feel most comfortable and aligned with your morals and values. Like with myself, I don't enjoy getting in groups of covens, as I don't see a lot of males getting involved, and on top of it, I don't do a lot. To be honest, I mostly work on aligning myself with my dreams and taking actions towards it. For others who do more with their intention and using tools as an extension of their being, then that's amazing. Use your tools to your advantage. That's the whole point. And I feel like that's the same with mental health for you right now, my collective, is that you're using the tools that you have been provided with, like mental tools in order to, like, new ways of talking to yourself, putting up boundaries, and no longer people pleasing. You know, you're using the tools, like using the word no when you don't feel comfortable doing something, instead of saying no to yourself. I feel a lot of you in my collective are beta testers of the Matrix. Why is it every day that it's gotta be you? What's up? Anything important, Mr. Kilimanjaro? Ambassador of this reading, apparently? Someone wants to really scream out hello to you. That's not really your responsibility. If they wanted to say hello and spend time alone with you, then that's, you know, it's kind of on them to say, hey, I wanted to spend some alone time with you. That's the only thing I could think of, is because he really loves snuggling all day long, and he's just a big baby. Yeah, so some of you may do baby talk cats, but adult talk humans, because human children, because you realize that they're smart and they're capable. So a lot of you may not cater to the baby talking of newborns and younger children and allowing them to make decisions over their own autonomy. I feel like some of you are beta testers of the Matrix. Some of you may resonate with other incarnations where the planet or the population was completely wiped out in order to defrag or optimize new paradigms. This will download the 5D, aka welcoming utopia. Welcome utopia. We are only welcoming utopia. The dystopian is got to go. It has had its time. It's overdue. Wore that t-shirt out, set it on fire, and started it. But you're learning that there is no shortcuts to the 5D. You realize that you got to work through the spiritual realm of the 4D and learn how to navigate it and manipulate energy and create your own energy. And what I mean by manipulating energy is being an alchemist, you know, transmuting negative energy into a positive energy, taking that moment to breathe and respond instead of reacting. Because you don't want to be a nuclear reactor. You want to be a positive energy generator. And I don't mean like all positive and light, love and light only. No, if you don't embrace the dark, how will you ever see the light? And I feel like that's where you're knowing, is that you just tried to be positive constantly all the time, and you realized you had to take the bad with the good, but also like strain it out. You know, you were straining yourself to try and hold all of that energy, but now you're siphoning it through and, you know, sifting out the bullshit. But yeah, you are the secret passcode. You're the cheat code. You're the master coder of opening up opportunities, doors for you, like open sesame. Like, I have the loaded dice. I've earned my right at the round table. Doors of opportunity are like open sesame and bringing me to my riches. And that's what's happening for you right now. My collective, my favored ones. You are like, doors of opportunity, open sesame, bring me my riches. Bring me the magic lamp. But I was talking about cooking and being an amazing chef. That was one of the downloads that came through, was someone's support system, either in the physical or your ancestors, wanted to say one of your generational gifts, as it's not always a generational curse that you are left with. It's sometimes generational gifts. For some of you, that is that you're an amazing chef. You manage to change people's minds about food and the ways of eating. You are also amazing storytellers, where now your ancestors are proud of you for using your gift for growth, whereas before it was used as a generational cycle of lying and manipulation. Now you are using your storytelling to tell your own unique tale and share it to not only inspire your self journey but to inspire others and to live out your fantasy world, your fairy tale. You want to hold on a second? I'm gonna fix this. Woo! Yeah, there we go. Okay, you're flipping it on high. You're putting yourself on high alert. You're flipping it into gear. People may be flipping out about your hair or how nice it looks. You could have got a new hairdo. And people are just totally raving about it. I didn't pick out a crystal today. I know a lot of people enjoy crystals because you resonate with them, but none of them were singing out to me. But what did sing out to me was one of my little statues, the pelican, which not only reminds me of Little Nemo with moin, 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 where the universe is literally picking you up from a bad situation and taking you where you need to go. Like that pelican picked him up and popped him right where Nemo was. But not only that, the pelican, Henet, in Egyptian, was associated with death and the afterlife, especially with the autumn equinox coming up tomorrow. I won't be making a video, but like with the fact that it will be equally the lightest and darkest means that I feel like you're pirouetting, like you're just on the precipice, the climax of your character development, you know, where everything's kind of all up in the air inside of a story, but right after it gets tied up in a beautiful bow. I feel like a present, and I feel like the universe is bringing you something wrapped up, a beautiful present wrapped up in a bow in the present time, if you are watching. So yeah, it was depicted on the arts in the tombs, and it was also a protective symbol against snakes. So you may have some snakes in your grass, even though you've cut it, you're making sure that you're cutting off people that need to be, and you have boundaries up, you know, you got your fence up and everything, but there still may be some evil eye snakes. I don't think you need to worry about it since it is a protection symbol, but it may be something that you're aware of, and it may be causing a bit of concern, and the universe just wants to reassure you that you're on the right path. You are protected. Just keep doing what you're doing and don't mind the petty spaghetti snakes. And it also indicated the mother of kings. So some of you could be a mother of a son who you find to be your heir and your treasured young one. Or it doesn't have to be a boy. You're just a mother of a kingdom. You rule your household as it is a fortress, and you are the queen. You are a goddess, whether you're male or female. You rule your home as if it was a fortress, and if you deserved to be royal, an heir, as I was saying yesterday, that you are the heir. What was it? The heir of standing up for yourself. Yeah, so you're standing up for yourself and you're teaching your kids how to stand up for themselves too. But yeah, pelicans were seen as goddess energy. So a lot of you could identify as a goddess or are working on your womb or root chakra for anyone who's not binary or male. That doesn't mean that this reading isn't for you. It just means that you look to your mother as raising a king. Your mother raised a king. Your mother raised a god, is what it's indicating to me then. If you're not the one raising the next generation, then it's you honoring your mother for the way that she raised you. Or happy that you're raising yourself, though, that you're nothing like your mother, and so that the next generation doesn't have to put up with that. You know, that's the kind of the messages I'm getting there. Okay. Fantasy world. Yes. I got the song Forever Young by Rod Stewart. This was pulled from the depths of my memories. Much like I was saying, you needed to go through your memories in this lifetime and another in order to achieve the 5D. You must go through the 4D. You must go through the ether of the halls of Amenti and the Akashic records. Some of you may pull through that by doing past life regressions, or of course being a QHT practitioner. Or you could just follow Dolores Canna's work, or her daughter as well, Julia. Forever young. You look youthful in appearance and style. And I also feel like with the song, also the Shaman by Fairy Tale and the Forever Young is coming with a message that you may have lost someone who will now be considered forever young in your eyes. It could have been a first serious love, or a serious love, or just a homie, like a best friend, I feel, that may have gotten lost. My condolences on your loss. I feel like they're dancing with you. They're sending you messages. Especially with the veil getting thinner, even though, you know, veil means absolutely thin. But either way, the veil is going pretty much near none when Samhain's coming up, which is Halloween time. And that's where the veil usually thins out so that family members and loved ones can come visit. So if that was something you were to be looking out for in the next coming month. Now, of course, if you're seeing this another time, it's a timeless reading, then it just might be that regardless of how thin the veil is, they're still sending you messages and want to let you know that they're there in your day-to-day life, even though they may have planned to leave, you know, earlier than you had hoped or anticipated. Yeah, for some, it's both, that you lost someone young and you look very young for your age. If you're like 40, you're looking like close to 30, and if you're 30, you know, you just look young. You're looking young, sipping on the fountain of youth, you know, just the nights, the night, the Holy Grail, and all the 5 shebangs. You have your own twist on religion, because the inside of the song Forever Young, he kind of makes a little a twist on a religious saying. I believe when I was listening to it, it did come up, and it's like you have your own personal twist on religious sayings, or your beliefs are your own and can seem unorthodox to some. You could help with making people feel more aligned with the categories. Let me read this off properly. In the end, you are after the truth with legends, history, and lore. You combined psychology, life coaching, philosophy, and spirituality of all categories that align with you. And this is changing other people's minds, and for some, even healing Catholicism and other religious wounds. Some of you could just be dealing with healing that yourself. It's not easy to have grown up. I had one half that was Roman Catholic, and the other half was Mormon, and then there was my other side of the family that was Evangeline, I think. There was so much different beliefs, and you know, I had to learn myself and decide which ones I believe is true, which is why I understand people who are skeptics, and I can relate to that. And I understand people who want to take one toe and one baby step towards all of this at a time, and people who may still never not believe it, but just have a healthy respect for it. I can appreciate that. Regardless of how you want to do it, wisdom is your legacy. I also got 1988, could be an important year for you, or just seeing 88 and the number 10 of completion. I don't know why, but Rod Stewart always reminds me of karaoke. Some of you could be working on your singing by going to karaoke, or getting over your stage fright by going to karaoke where most people won't be looking at you, or an open mic night. Thank you for staying with me here. There's a lot of downloads, and I hope I am doing them as much justice and tingliness as when I received them. Okay. Rise Against, Prayer of the Refugee. Some of you may be refugees. Some of you could be not the first generation. I'm feeling maybe 1 to 3rd generation of being in a certain place. We are the angry and the desperate, the hungry and the cold. We are the ones who kept quiet and always did what we were told. That was you in the past. Now we are keeping quiet no longer. We will sing of the life that we've lost and the life we've reclaimed. You are unapologetically shining. You are making sure that the lives that were lost, maybe to addiction or, mental health, or just a tragic events of car accidents and stuff like that, you are not going to let that life that you lost become dim without memory. You are bringing practices and their sayings and their love and their light into everything that you do, and your creativity. Some of you could have put this lost loved one into an effort into your creations, like putting a line for them in a song, or if they were an artist, making a tribute by shouting them out. Getting refugee from being burnt out as well. You want to seek refuge from being burnt out or from a fire. I'm getting freezer burnt, a rap battle. Some of you could be going to a rap battle or working towards rap battle. As well as, because burnout. That's why I was like, where did I get burned from? Burnout, because that's where the song is inside of Rise Against. It was inside of Burnout Takedown. No, Burnout it was Burnout Takedown as theme song. Soundtrack. There we go. It was inside of it. So some of you may like racing games, video games that you may miss this person playing with, and now you've created new friends to play these games with. Some of you may be making a soundtrack for your own video game. You could be a video game designer. As I said earlier, that you are the beta testers of the Matrix. So some of us have come down to different incarnations in order to beta test how the Matrix is doing and then dip out. So some of them may have dipped out early because they had done all the beta testing that they could for now. Some of you could do grid work or work with the ley lines of the earth and work with Mother Gaia or Danu or Mother Nature if that's what you prefer. And rock band, lots and lots of band and crew energy lately. But I believe that's everything that I have so far. But you are the secret passcode. You, if you watch the Cosmic Wifey, she had informed me of another not me personally, through her videos, that she had watched another reader talking about affirmations, and they're considered cheat codes. So some of you may be working towards doing that, where you ask the universe instead of, affirming things without having all of your full intention and belief behind it. You could just ask the universe, hey, universe, how am I beta testing the matrix? How is the dice always loaded in my favor? Why is there a seat for me at the round table? And then once you are confident enough, you can start being I am with full force of like, I am a beta tester. I am, the master coder. I am holding the loaded dice of the universe. I am opening the doors of opportunity, like open sesame, to my riches. And it's like, why am I always finding people who are respectful and for me? It's 10:43, so 143, the universe loves me. And the last ring. That song always reminds me kind of the opening theme song for Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Some of you might all be as love slayers. Some of you may be exorcists or slayers, and you work with actual spiritual warfare. Not everyone is meant to be spiritual and work with spiritual warfare, but if you are, know that you are divinely protected and you are an exorcist. You do it without even meaning to. You walk into the room and then all of a sudden people just start smiling. The energy rises in the room. You may notice every single time you go to a concert that the artist on stage is like, this is the most energy I've ever had. This is a great energy exchange. You guys are awesome. Because you higher the vibration in the room to that point where everyone feels like they can give their 110%. So you may notice that is that people go extra hard when you're around. Even if it's like the smallest venue ever and they're like, yo, I went to a big city the other day and the energy wasn't as dope as this. Some of you may be starting to put on concerts for yourself or releasing a new album with songs because it's your dream. Can we get a Herbal Astrology Oracle to go with the one that I grabbed from the Dreamweaver, please? In regards to more messages for the collective. They want you to drink more water and slow down talking. I feel like some of you may have felt like you needed to rush talking in the past because people would talk over you. The universe is saying it's time where you're commanding people's attention, and you'll notice that they're starting to be quiet and holding on to every word that you have. And more water, of course. As we are 70%, close to 70% of water. So make sure you're staying quenched. I'm getting gummy berry juice. Some of you might like to have switched over to taking gummies instead of smoking, or prefer edibles. Some of you might be taking your vitamins more often because it reminds me of like those gummies, those vitamin gummies for your kids and yourself. Just really starting to add more of a balanced overall diet. Also like gummy berry juice, so like you could be juicing or drinking more smoothies. Some of you might like celery juicing. And remember, you can leave your likes, comments, and subscribe and share with people that you feel will resonate. And I love reading all of the confirmations and feedback below. It makes me so tingly and I get like so giddy. It's amazing. And yeah, so anyone who's new to subscribing lately and those who are shouting out and giving feedback, I appreciate you so much and your energy exchange, and I hope the universe brings you back all the love that you give out. Hoppity hop, do the hoppity hop. Mousse, some of you might like chocolate mousse or live where there is mousse and be on the go. Elliot Moose is on the loose. Some of you watching cartoons or something right now with your kids. I appreciate you showing up. Yeah, a lot of you are cutting out tobacco. Some of you are finding, not cutting out tobacco all the way, but finding a way to partake in it without all the extra chemicals that the big companies put into it, like fiberglass and cotton filters and chemicals galore. So some of you are cutting out some of that. Some of you are making offerings as well to yourself by, say, putting up a savings, by making an altar, by doing a money burning. That doesn't, like a money burn spell, not like actual burning money. Not gonna bring you more. Like using green candles. I think it's waxing crescent that you usually light it around. I don't do these very often, but I am read up and I am aware of how. So, some of you are making offerings for yourself. Some of you had always put yourself on the back burner and you were like, oh, I could get that thing. It would make me really happy. It doesn't cost that much, but that's kind of silly. I don't really need that. And you're realizing that, yes, you are getting those things. You are getting them for yourself. You want to go see a movie, but you haven't seen one in like 7 years or something like that. You're going out to see a movie. These flowers kind of look like sweet peas. Some of you might be a sweetie or sweetums is important. But yeah, it reminds me of sweet pea flowers where you could cut off a little bit and they'll grow back even more so. So I feel like when you offer a little, you receive more in return. So yeah, like I was just saying to all those who comment and subscribe and like my comments, and the fact that you're offering things up to your ancestors of the highest good, is not all ancestors are for your highest good. What our friendship is for, to say you love me, you want. I'm giving you everything, the joy you bring, yes I swear. Some of you are making pinky swears, and it's like, all that I want from you is to promise you will be there. So some of you are giving offerings, and your ancestors want to let you know that they're promising to be there. Some of you might be spicing your things up more. So you might enjoy Spice Girls. But yeah, tobacco is always an offering of peace. So I feel like some of you are giving a peace offering and letting bygones be bygones, and, you know, building a bridge and getting over it. Some of you may enjoy orcas or whales. You may resonate with Atlantean energy, or planets where, like I said, that the population didn't survive. Could have been a planet where there was a water planet that didn't survive, or civilization, like I said earlier, that didn't survive. Some of you may have been beta testers there. Woo. Some of you could be dealing with a lot of like phlegm and backing up in the throat, because I had no problems before I started this video, but some of you may be, like I said, quitting and backing up on smoking because you were having problems with your breathing. That could be also just due to the fires going on in the area. 44, so number 8, you are infinite. Number 44, you are stable and stability. Making offerings for yourself, such as putting away money for later, saving, making an offer on a house or on a vehicle. With the stability, it always reminds me, always reminds me of the Four of Wands, which symbolizes stability, happiness. So making and having a healthy home and foundation to build from. So I feel like a lot of you could be putting in an offer or had put in an offer and now you're settling into a new home. Or traveling to another area and you're putting in an offer for where you're going to be staying while you're traveling and working on your dreams. Yeah, the winds of change is what's coming to my mind right now, is clairaudiently, is like the whistling. So some of you could be learning how to whistle, or like the whistle is blown and you're ready to go. Some of you is for not so innocent thoughts of a lot of you could be whistleblowers. Actually, you could be a whistleblower. You see things that aren't up to code at your job, or your old workplace wasn't treating you well and you're like leaving a review and you're letting people know don't work there, or you're letting know that a certain artist isn't cool beans, and you're explaining to them like that, like with a lot of things going on with Hollywood nowadays. But either way, I feel like some of you are whistleblowers, and once this whistle has been blown, the winds of change can come through and get better. You know, finally blowing that whistle on the family that acts like everything is perfect, picture perfect, smile for the pictures, and you are the one being like, no, working for you is kind of, you know, big thumbs down energy, and you walked away, and now other people are starting to notice that working for this environment, especially if you're working with your family, that not only are they not healthy to work with, but they might not be healthy to hang around with on the downtime either. Number 44, weavers know that all is God. Excuse me, Mr. Hair, you're tickling. Some of you maybe have a tickling feeling, like every time the universe wants to give you a gift, you may get a truth tingles. Or it could be a tickle in your throat as well, which is why you're quitting smoking, whatever you're smoking, vaping, whatever you've backed on, down on, whatever you've cut back on, whatever you back down on, back down on it. Oh, silly brain. The weaver, the essential meanings is the conscious universe is the source of supply. Spirit is fundamental life, and the mysticals is primary to reality. kind of reminds me of Pink Floyd, and it's like, we don't need your education. So some of you may be blowing the whistle on the education system and the way people are treating you, especially with the residential schools that happened with the Indigenous and in Canada and in Turtle Island in the Americas as well. Yeah, and bringing forth more unity and solidarity. Some of you may be getting confirmation signals from spirit that sounds like a ship, like a boat, like an old wooden boat. You may hear creaking every now and then. It sounds like you're on a ship. They wanted to let you know that's them, and that's confirmation that they're around, or either to distract you from an intrusive thought or to confirm a eureka moment. Some of you may have had what does that even mean? I don't know how to describe that. Spirit, what is that message even? Some of you may have stopped having the call to the void, you know, where you're like standing by a railing and all of a sudden they're like, hey, I wonder if you like yeet right now. Some of you may deal with call of the void, or cult of the void may be important to you. It always reminds me of PlayStation, because that was the name of one of my friends groups chat. So the weavers know that God, all is God to you. This is a profound magic time in your life, and it's important to recognize your relationship with your higher power as essential and primary. Yes, reading Rainbow, that's what it was. I was like, Rainbow? And why is this? And then it reminds me of Philip Titis from the Hercules, where it's like, once upon a time. Once upon a time. So people may have doubted that you are a hero in your own story, and you are becoming your own hero in your story. Reading Rainbow might be important. You're reading to your kids, or you're passing down teachings and stories from your culture and ancestral line. Some of you might be young whippersnappers, and some people may not listen to you because you look so young, and may not get the respect you deserve because people don't think you have as many experiences. So yeah, to other people you look like you're primary and you may not have as much experience, but behind it all you have these wise eyes and a lot of wisdom behind your eyes, which states otherwise, and people end up listening to you despite your young appearance. These lamps, I know you wanna get up on these lamps, but you can't, cause you's a chump. Lumpy space princess. Adventure time with the rainbow. But yeah, you're defining who you are, and you're knowing who's chum buckets now, instead of like, you know, special secret sauce. Okay? Some people are trying to, some people in your past, you might have let chum buckets be around you, but now you know what you deserve, and it's like the Krabby Patty, and yeah. Consider all the gifts of your existence. When you breathe, ask yourself, who is breathing you? Who is breathing you? It's me. What force moves you, animating you, and those you love? The universe is the spark of life within you and nature. In you is true magic, connecting you to the web of all creation. Each strand woven on your behalf is pure consciousness. Right now, you're being asked to remember this and feel what that means to you. Every single thing in your life is sacred and infused with the power of spirit and the cosmic universe. Even your difficulties are infused with the sacred and are always beckoning you to remember who you truly are. I'm getting that image from Penny Dreadful, and this is going to be spoilers, so hold on to your seats. Inside Penny Dreadful, there was Mr. What was his name? Either way, there was the old man, and he had been, these three witches were using his own brain to taunt him from the things that he had done in the past. And the universe wants to remind you, know who you are. Because his friend came in and was like, know who you are. And it cleared away. So the universe wants to remind you to know who you are. Not your mistakes. Not your regrets. Because if you feel cringe about it, then obviously you've grown. So who are you now? You want to keep bringing up the past for yourself. How about bringing up some presents? Because you are definitely not the same person you were back then. And you're not going to be the same person you were today, tomorrow. Character development. Okay. But know who you are. Like, look at that thing. It's very powerful. If you just look at the scene, hopefully I can find it. If I can find it, I'll list it below. But if you're interested, if you look up Penny Dreadful, know who you are. And yeah, it spoke to me, the fact that even though you could have spiritual attacks either, or it's just, mental health that's sending you these intrusive thoughts of all the things you've ever done wrong, and it could be causing you to spiral to the lower vibrations of disappointment, doubt, and anxiety. Whereas the universe wants to upward spiral you. It wants to give you a run and go at yourself, because you deserve it. You deserve to know all of the good things you are capable of and have yet to do. If you're so capable of the opposite, of things that you regret, you're most certainly capable of things that you would be proud of. Even things that you can validate yourself and not need outside validation for. Whew, I love that. That's like chef's kiss. Some of you are chef's kiss. Some of you like kissing the chef. That could be a message for someone. Everything in your life is sacred. Yes. Are infused with sacred, and you are always beckoned to remember who you truly are, an immortal, spiritual being having a mortal human experience. Can you see right now that whatever you are asking about has divinity sparkling through it? You are divinity sparkling through this cosmic. Treat the subject of your query with reverence and step into the sacred dance. You cannot go wrong. You are meant to have this experience right now. You are meant to have, better experiences than you've witnessed in the past. I feel like a lot of my collective may have put out a a soul contract to have harder lessons and more difficult lessons in the beginning of their lives, and then slowly throughout the more later years, I feel like we've written down that we're meant to have an easier life. One of those, like, you know, a jaunt through, like where you're struggling at the beginning to get your shoes on and tied and everything else like that. And then all of a sudden you realized you didn't even need shoes because you're just levitating across the finish line. Doing that chest walk. You moonwalking across the finish line. Some of you could be learning how to moonwalk or shuffle. Whether that's shufflemancy or shuffle dancing. Oh dear. Yeah, people are missing. You're really missing out on your friends lately. And or the missing loved one, or just your support team. Maybe you're missing someone that you had to cut off or just don't have as much time with. But I feel a really deep sadness, and I'm gonna hold on to that with you and hold space as you work through that, because honestly the only way to work on it is through, right? There is no shortcuts. There's no shortcuts from the 3D to the 5D. You have to go through the 4D. It's like there's no shortcuts between, you know, the 5 stages of grief, and there's no shortcuts through the 12-step program either. So like I feel like as a collective we are taking those steps in stride. Number 24. So number 6, you could be a life past 6, or you're just someone who works in communication, such as singing or advertisement, standing up for those and speaking out as an advocate. Tobacco, upright, is an offering, divine gift. You are a divine gift. Invocation, respect. Yes, I said you are deeply respected. Deeply aligned with your will and purpose. It also, astrologic ruler is Mars and Pluto. Some of you may work with Hades or associate with Hades or Aries. You're very good at martial arts or physical defending yourself. Tobacco use is among indigenous groups across the Americas as an offering to the gods for smoke cleansing, as an offering to the spirits, as a sacred smoke at council meetings, and as a ceremonial juice during vision quests. I didn't know that part. I was like, why is juicing so important? That's so cool. I love when confirmation comes through like that. I don't care how long I've been doing this for. I'm equally impressed and surprised by confirmations as the rest of you. I just feel like that childlike innocence and, you know, impressed. Well, it just makes the universe giddy. It's like, oh, I impressed the collective. I impressed my favored ones. Could you imagine them impressed with me? I just feel like the universe gets really giddy and loves spoiling you. Widely used as shamans in the Amazons, tobacco is considered a teacher, a master plant. Wisdom. Wisdom is your legacy. These plants are key to protective spirits. You are protected. An important ally and guides in the healing of humanity. In pre-Columbian North America, different tribes used tobacco ceremonially. The main difference between them and the Central and South American tribes is that they smoke tobacco. Through pipe. Various indigenous people from the Americas use tobacco for healing in wide ranges of ailments such as earaches, snake bites. Ooh, with the snakes and the snakes. You may actually be dealing with real snakes. I meant like not so nice people around, but it could be actual snakes you're dealing with. If so, please be careful. I love them, but they should have a healthy respect and distance. I feel like people are learning to give you a healthy amount of respect and distance instead of trying, whatever that means to you. Snake bites, cuts, burns, respiratory diseases, fever, convulsions, nervous issues, urinary complaints, skin disease, and parasites. Some of you may be doing a parasite cleanse at this time. Some of you could be dealing with skin issues as well, or nerve damage. May you find relief soon. I know it's not the easiest thing to deal with. Many traditions hold that tobacco is a protective spirit to humanity and enable communication to the spirit world. I hope that's not bugging you too much outside, but I honestly don't know what they're weed whacking. It's fall. That grass ain't gonna grow no more. Well, they're not hurting nobody. Well, they are hurting the grass. Rude. Some of you may be advocates for Mother Nature as well. Some of you may have a more natural yard. Some of you may be advocating for having dandelions out further in the springtime because there's not as many flowers and the bees need something to eat. You may not rake your leaves because you know that butterflies may live in them. So you may be more of a conscious environmentalist than others. Many traditions hold that tobacco is a protective spirit, humanity, and able to communicate with the spirit world. Tobacco is one of the ultimate ofrendas, or sacred offerings to the spirit world. It has been placed on altars and traded among different societies for hundreds of years. It has been used by many indigenous people as a symbolic token for sealing peace among tribes. Yeah, a peace offering. Someone make a peace offering with you for the way they treated you. Maybe someone mislabeled you at the beginning and thought you were a certain way, and now they're starting to see you for your true light now that you constantly showing up. Some people may have had wounds in the past, and the fact that you're kind, they may not believe. They're like, oh, they're kind, yeah, but who are they really? And then over time, you continuing to show up, show genuine support and love. They've started to realize what your true nature is, and they can't deny it to themselves anymore. Like those people who walk up and they're like, when I first met you, I thought you were a total BICTH, and you're like, and I'm not. And it's like, no, you're not. It's like, you can if you. I know some of you can if you need to be, but that's different. That's harmless. If you're not doing nothing unless you're provoked, you're harmless. But if you're provoked and then you're standing up for yourself, you're a warrior. It has also been used across time. Tobacco has been most commonly used as smoke, but it can also be used as a strong prerogative and an anti-inflammatory, which further mirrors its Mars's energies. Guidance. The gods of power are here to serve, and they demand loving respect. A healthy dose of respect. It's what people are learning to give you, is a healthy dose of respect, and not stepping to, unless you won't start none, won't be none. Hi! Hi, baby! What's your baby? You're so cute. Yeah. What do you do now? Huh? Got loved. All right. Demand loving respect. Tobacco reminds us to utilize power compassionately. How we use and direct this power determines the quality of life. Offering your actions is a divine gift, selflessly and in service to the sacred. Grandfather Tobacco protects, and powerful energy lovingly opens doorways. I said you're opening those doors like open sesame. Come on, money. Come on, health. Come on, friendships. Come on, like all those things that you could possibly want besides just money. Because you want money to buy things, right? What are those things that you want? You want experiences. That's what you truly desire. It's not the money. The money's a byproduct. 1111 on the thing. 1111. Make a wish. Whew. Grandfather Tobacco protects, and powerful energy doorways, yes, to the spirit world, to those who ask with humility and respect. Don't allow the illusions of power to ignite destructive behaviors or propel you towards addictive habits. So yeah, just because you're out with friends and everything and they're having drinks, you don't gotta have drinks. You don't gotta. You can have a healthy respect for them without having to partake. That's fine. People are still gonna like you. I know a lot of times we get wrapped up in thinking people won't like us because we're no longer partaking in those that no longer serve us. But honestly, you're just setting a good example. So keep going out there and being a good example, not only for yourself, but for that inner child that only ever wanted to have a hero and an adult just like you. You are. You're the adult and the hero that you called out for through the fabrics of time when you were younger. And guess what? You answered. I'm very proud of you. So that is it for today. I hope you have a lovely weekend. If I get the opportunity, I will post this weekend. If not, I'm going to enjoy my time with my loved ones and have, fun doing it. As you know the motto, remember to eat, hydrate, and have fun. Bye-bye.